Hello and welcome to GuySuCo Roundup. I'm your host, Curtis Ito. GuySuCo creates opportunities out of challenges. Facilitators train farming employees to become farmers. Do stay tuned for more on GuySuCo Roundup. Welcome back. It's now time to bring you the news for this week. Georgiana Bola updates on events occurring.
Thank you, Curtis. Hello, everyone. Former employees of the Wales estate were the first to respond to an invitation to develop and sharpen their knowledge base of citrus farming production and livestock rearing. Themed Transitioning Ex-Employees into Farmers, the interactive learning event held at the Wales Training Centre was facilitated by officers of the Guyana Livestock Development Agency and GuySuCo management team from Skeldon Rose Hall, the East Demerara Estate, Enmore, Wales, and head office. This is the secondary phase of training initiated by the external group, 2 officers who were selected to participate in the Training for Trainers workshop in October.
My name is Tejrutan Rameshwar. I work with GuySuCo from 1972 till unto 2001. And I could say it was wonderful being in this corporation, and then I want to say thanks to GuySuCo for today. I was in the citrus group, and I admire being there because, when we look, we see that our country is in need of every little fruits. So, I must say that to GuySuCo, I want to say thank them for, sending these people and letting give us this wonderful opportunity where we could extend and be having, a better life towards our community and all our fellow Guyanese.
Supernumerary constables of GuySuCo are now more proficient in the practice of aviation security, having been exposed to training approved by the Guyana Civil Aviation Authority. Among topics covered were identifying the authorities of civil aviation, understanding their roles and responsibilities, threats to civil aviation, and recognition of firearms, components of explosives, and dangerous goods. Congratulations to all participants. The Information Systems Department, our link to the future, is responding to calls for a restructuring in key areas of our operations. Head of this department, Mr. Hector Isidore, stands ready with a progress report.
With the way we're restructuring, there are significant implications for the HR systems we have there. One expect that the rules that govern a lot of our operations, for example, we have a collective bargaining agreement that governs how we make payment for key in agriculture. That will not hold, or most likely will not hold, when we're dealing with diversified operations, like different crops and these different things. So we expect that from a payroll perspective, there's a lot of changes that will come in terms of how payments are made, but also in the way we're managing managing the people on the whole. We expect some different rules, different structures, and so on. And so we have to gear our HR system to deal with that. As it is right now, there are already some limitations to the level of assistance provided to HR through information, in terms of information systems. So this is an opportunity, whilst we're looking to widen, to deal with these new areas, we can also strengthen what it is that we are offering in that area. In terms of the extent of training, this is going to be intensive, but for that reason, we have to spread it out over time. The way the agriculture information system that we're putting in works, unlike some of the things that we do now with our computer, where the computer is at the end of the process, when we've done everything, we fill in our book, and we're ready now to store the data somewhere, we go and we have a clerk put that into a computer. That's not the way we're going to operate. The way we're going to operate is that we're looking for the data to be captured at the source, where it's created. So we're looking to put devices in the hands of people, supervisors, foremen, right in the field, for them to capture the information right there. Right? Their tasks are assigned to them via that same means, through the technology, right in the field. With that in itself is a major shift. The good thing about that, and with the blessings of smartphones and so on, most people they have the requisite technology expertise at the moment to use these devices, because we're going to, at the edges, those areas, we're going to be depending more on smartphones, tablets, and so on, to make it into a device that people are much more, well, one, it's mobile, but also something that they're very familiar with, right? And you make those things very simple for them to use. But nonetheless, training will still be necessary. Training and retraining and continuous training. And then because of the depth to which the system goes, we have to do it layer upon layer. Start with one thing, then build on that and build on that, so that we don't attempt to put too much on people at the same time. The information system department that we have now really and truly started in the 90s. All right, the early 1990s, when Booker Tate was managing GuySuCo. Just prior to that, we had our operations, our data unit center at Enmore Estate, actually, and part of it at the head office unit. But then they wanted to create a larger information center, or make better use of management information systems. And so what they recognized is that the infrastructure in Guyana at the time, this is IT infrastructure, it wasn't at a stage where we could have gone and outsource certain things or get certain things from the publicly available service providers. And so GuySuCo decided to build its own communication infrastructure.
With this year's annual sugar production at the 6 factories moving ahead, shipments of our value-added product, Demerara Gold, will be made available to Trinidad this week, while Suriname, Antigua, and Grenada will receive sugar in bagged and packaged forms. Another shipment of cuisine will also be made to Trinidad. We offer congratulations to all employees of Berbice locations of the corporation who, on November 18, will be conferred with the certificate, diploma, degree for success at their various fields of studies at the University of Guyana Tain campus. While the corporation makes good on the opportunities available, there remains growing concern over causes of absenteeism. And that's news from around the Sugar Belt for this week.
Thank you, Georgiana. We'll share what Shiv has prepared for us in this segment of History and Community Development.
Behind me stands the remain of the LBI factory. Today, we shall reflect on the history of this factory. LBI Estate is located in the village of Labon Intention, which is located on the east coast of Demerara and is situated in the center of a triangle with Enmore Estate, now called East Demerara Estates, and what was formerly Diamond Estate. This allowed a flexible arrangement among the 3 estates, since cane can be transported from any point to another within the triangle. In 1956, the LBI factory was constructed on a floating foundation on which rested the mill house, the boiling house, the sugar storage bins, and number 3 and 4 boilers. Upon completion, it was referred to as the new floating foundation, at LBI Estate, one of its kind in the world. The LBI factory relied primarily on burning of bagasse for energy, and it had a grinding rate of 100 tons cane per hour. When the factory at Ogle Estate ceased operations, the cane from that location were transported to LBI for processing, and the estate became known as LBI Ogle Estate. Later in 1987, the estate was merged with Diamond Estate after Diamond Factory ceased operations, and the canes from diamond cultivations were ground at either LBI or Enmore. LBI Diamond Estate had more than 2,000 hectares of sugar cane under cultivation, providing jobs to over 3,000 employees, communities, and economic development to many villages nearby. Further, on February 1, 1998, the LBI Enmore estates were merged as part of the corporation's pursuit to cost reduction and productivity improvement. In 2011, the LBI factory ceased operations, and in 2016, the consolidation of the LBI agricultural operation with the Enmore estate was completed. The merged estates are now known as East Demerara Estate.
As we open this building today, in its newness, I want us to revive anew the principles that has made GuySuCo strong over the years. The principles that have made our communities not only see us as an important economic support to them, but saw us as a leader in the community.
The improvement in modern technology also led to the contraction of estates. As modern factories were built and could have ground larger quantities of canes, cultivations were merged to satisfy that demands. Joining us to share some of the historical information is Mr. Earl John, a former student of Queen's College who was recruited as a cadet at Booker's in 1958 and was subsequently employed at the organization's head office. He served for 21 years in several management positions in the Human Resources Department, including the highest level as director. In 1976, GuySuCo faced some different challenges, which caused the company not only to contract further, but lose critical skills and revenue.
Some of it would have to do with the weather. Some of it will have to do with competing industries and employment opportunities developing, and the migration. Because of the depreciation in the quality of life in Guyana, a number of people migrated and a lot of the skills came out of the sugar industry. There was a time when the first choice for employment when people returned qualified from overseas was sugar the first time. And when they couldn't make it into sugar because either they didn't have the right qualification or we had a saturation of people, they had to go elsewhere.
On April 24th, the head office of the sugar industry relocated from Ogle Estate to LBI. The move is part of the corporation's program to rationalize and reorganize to become a more resilient and sustainable industry.
Thank you, Shiv. It's now time to meet our special employee in this week's segment of Sweet Stories. Sweet Stories is the segment of our program which takes you a little further into the lives of the people associated with sugar, highlighting their challenges, sources of strength, victories, and commitment to sugar. Cutting and lifting canes is where Vijay Rahim started off his career in sugar. Today he is a security constable and is still lifting weights, but in the gym.
I'm a security constable at GuySuCo, Fairmont Estate, and I'm also a powerlifter, 66 kg weight class. I won the overall best lifters 3 times. So far, I get 7 medals for Guyana. I get in 2013, I went to the championship in Florida. It was a 3-in-1 competition, so I managed to get a gold in Caribbean, a silver in North American, and a bronze in Pan American level. But at this time, I get stronger, so if I get a chance next year, I could manage to get 3 golds, but you know, just waiting for the opportunity. I love the sport so bad. I used to go in the background and work and then come home, catch a rest, then hit the gym. And I was be cramping up in the gym because, you know, the dehydration.
The estate manager, after meeting and learning of the complications Vijay was experiencing, offered him alternative work.
The estate manager, Mr. Vinor, see me at the background, and the cane harvester told him that I'm a powerlifter. He said the only job available right now is security, so I decided to take a job and I elevate myself from there, and I get better and I achieve a constable now.
As a young man, Vijay had many struggles.
School life was really rough because, to tell you the truth, I went to TI and I had like 1 month to complete the course that I was doing, and teacher ended up and, you know, fall sick, and then it was a rough time. And my father, he's a cane harvester also, so he ended up with a back injury, so I had no money for passage and, you know, things like that, so I had to drop out.
Vijay carries a great amount of responsibility and hopes to one day have success academically.
I get a lot going on right now because I get a fitness gym, so I just gotta run the gym. Then I'm a part-time farmer, so I just gotta do the job at the estate. So it's very difficult. The time is not there, but I still try to get better.
The young powerlifter's career is impressive, with many wins under his belt. The sport is demanding and has dealt Vijay some rough blows.
It's very hard, to tell you the truth. It's very, very hard. As a powerlifter, you know, you have to eat a lot to get the strength. So sometimes when I train for a competition, I have to eat 8 meals. 8 meals. So it'll be very expensive, you know. But sometimes, you know, you really gotta make sacrifice. I had a back injury. I had a herniated disc. Took about 8 months to be fixed, and not 100% as yet. But I'll look into be 100% and train, and hoping to break some Caribbean records next year.
The highly motivated 24-year-old is committed to the sport.
Just weights all the time. I eat, sleep, everything's weights. It's just all weights. I just enjoy training people, you know, like fitness or bodybuilding or powerlifting. I was training people in, you know, all the areas, so I really like training people. We just win most of the weight class, you know, when you go at senior nationals. We just win the 66 kg, the overall best lifter. We just win the gym title. And we just win the like 105, 93 kg. And most of the classmates win, maybe, yeah. I think. If we didn't get first, we get second. So we don't go more low on that because we train very hard. We train every day, 7 days a week. You know, different training, different day. We don't really take a day off because we want to do well. You know, we want to chase record.
While academics is on the back burner for now, Mr. Rahim has his eyes set on some records.
My greatest achievement was to break the Commonwealth deadlift record. I did it in, I think it was 2012. I'm planning to break the 66 kg world record in the deadlift because I'm doing it in the gym for reps, but it's just the big challenge right now is to keep the body weight and just wait for the opportunity. And I'm hoping for a chance next year, you know, to do well, to bring some medals for Guyana.
Vijay is married and is the father of one. He is grateful for the support of his family.
My daughter is 3 years, I was married for 4 years. It has been very hard on her, you know, to prepare 8 meals. But she loved me, so, and she know that I love the sport very much, so, and she know that she can't change my mind, so she's very supportive, I must say. They eat, right, but they don't eat as much as me, you know. So they just eat, but they don't eat as much meal as me, and they kind of like their high protein diet too. So
Rahim, as a bodybuilder, frequents the gym daily, running his routine, and he advises that everyone should work out regularly.
I think everybody should go to a gym, whether you're into lifting or not, because you know health. Your body is very important because only one body you have. So when that finish, it finish. So everybody should take care of their body, and exercising every day, you know, help you to live longer because you won't get, you know, all the sickness around. So everybody should be in a gym, exercising.
Thank you, Mr. Rahim, for sharing with us, and best wishes on your future endeavors. It may take a while to recover from a setback, but if we persevere, we can come back stronger than ever. Let's never give up. Join me for more stories next week, right here on Sweet Stories. This concludes our program of GuySuCo Roundup for this week. Thank you for staying tuned and do join us again next week. I'm your host, GuySuCo. Goodbye.